I was, I was not interested so much in biking myself, but there was a time where my cousin, he used to live in Delhi. His name is Amit. He said that, guys, I think he told guys to me and another friend of mine called Aryadev. Actually, he invited me first. He said that, we can try a bike trip from uh, Delhi to, maybe Ladakh or something. But then for us, Ladakh was like a far-fetched thing because we were just beginning. So he said that, like we can do from Delhi to Shimla and come back. And I said, yeah, definitely. I also have one of my friends who can join us in. He was like, sure. So Aryadev, Amit and I, we, rented bullets from Delhi and we went to Shimla and came back. I think that first ride is always that charm. You make so many stupid mistakes. You have no fucking clue of how much you're supposed to spend on what and shit. How you're supposed to tie your bag, all that. But then you just go with it.
Yeah.
What about your first bike ride?
Yeah, my first bike ride was with Mukunda only. So I think, and like right? So we just started off. We just had a rough plan. We didn't have a lot of. We were not earning. I think it was just college time. We wanted to just ride.
Oh, okay. This is that budget one, right?
Budget bike.
Damn.
Yeah, so we just thought that little we have saved at home. I just told like, okay, fine, I'm just going with Muku. But then, yeah, just kind of just continued. We thought, okay, let's do what we can. But it all in all, I think it was a lovely ride because we managed a lot in that budget that we had, right? So we went for I think around 5 places. I think
What was your budget?
Budget I think was around
5K.
5 or 7K I think. Not.
And how many days we are talking?
Days interesting, but then I think days was we did basically places, and in each place we stayed for I think around one day or 2 days max. So around 4 to 5 places we went, and around 5 to 6 days. So it was just like continuously like a riding 5 days, like 5 different places. And the budget was we were staying in like places like which had a rent of around 250 rupees per person per day.
Damn.
So yeah, pretty interesting it was.
I think like that's the way to start off. Like 4 to 5 places in 4 to 5K. And that you included petrol also in that.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So,
okay.
I mean, you can imagine, right? Like, so 250 rupees per day in around 4 to 5 places. Yeah, roughly around 1,000. I think rest we just like managed.
Like they gave you houses or they gave you tents?
Huh? We slept under the stars. By the way, so one of the first place was Ooty. We stayed in a kitchen. Okay, so in the kitchen there was like a bunker bed. So kitchen bunker bed, 250 rupees per person per day. But yeah, I think that was the time when we went to Ooty, right? It
was a kitchen converted into like a bunk bedroom or
nothing.
Or bunker bedroom had a kitchen.
No, it was just a kitchen. Slabs were there. It's like just like minus all the cutlery and all, and then just the bunk beds were there.
I knew about your trip and all, but I didn't know about all this shit, dude. This is crazy. Compared to your first trip, our trip was like a very contradictory experience. Okay. In the sense, yours was a budget trip because you're a student.
Yeah.
And we were kind of earning well. Like the 4 of us. We were into our like new jobs, etc. So we didn't know where to spend, what to spend. For example, jacket, helmets and all. We bought everything new. Okay, but then we didn't know about saddlebags, etc. So I think Arya and we spent almost 35K to 40K just for like 4 days trip.
So did that include like all stay, petrol, everything?
That included everything, but I felt we overdid it. We definitely overdid it. But yeah, so many of them were like long-term investments, like riding shoes and riding jackets, helmet obviously a good one. So Yeah.
You need to have a good one, because if you don't have a good helmet, you will go to hell. You will meet hell. Helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just wanted to ask you, so how did the first ride that you did, right? How did it start off planning, and then just the general, how was the first ride? Like, where all did you go to? Stuff like that.
So, our first bike ride, like I said, started with a book that my cousin published.
Oh.
So, Amit wrote a book. I don't know if I told you before.
No, I didn't. I don't know this.
So he was in so much josh of that biking and all that. He used to follow MotoGP and all back then. So he published this book of his tentative Europe tour.
Okay.
And he had created, basically the whole book he had only created, he designed it in Illustrator. He's a designer also, graphic designer. So he designed the whole book where each chapter was a journey from one place in Europe to other place. It's a 20-day journey with a budget of 5,000 euros.
Okay.
So he wrote that, he typed the book, etc. He put maps, etc. And, he actually did a lot of research in local spots. And obviously that trip didn't happen. But he was like, we have to start off somewhere. And he had just bought Bajaj Avenger like just 1 year before that. So he was like, I need company, because he didn't have anyone who was in that riding josh and also he's like, let's do it. Somehow, we used to follow that vlogger called Mumbai Karne Ke Liye. Back then, like, man, that guy's so cool. Yeah, actually his bike ride vlogs are like, till now I agree,
amazing.
even you would agree.
Yeah. Full respect to his bike vlogs. I think he started off the biking
pretty good,
vlog
exactly.
in India.
So we used to follow that a lot and, to get inspired and shit. And that's when, we got Josh, we went there, we rented Royal Enfields and we just went for it. We just tied our backs with some shitty ropes and that kept coming off like every 50, 60 kilometers. I think that's like the first ride.